Martin, and this is my audience. I'm going to talk to you today about a subject a lot of people my age are facing as our parents age. When do we stop allowing them to drive? This is an article from the Pittsburgh Gazette. The young lady you see here is Jody Guthrie. She was 8.5 months pregnant, standing outside a Rite Aid drugstore in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on November 28, 2014. An 88-year-old driver mistook the accelerator for the brake as he drove into the parking lot. He drove into Jody and pinned her against the wall of the building for at least 30 seconds. She was rushed to the hospital where she died. Doctors were able to save her little boy, who she had planned to name Trace. He remained in critical condition for 2 months, and the doctors are now assessing whether the baby suffered brain damage during the time he and his mother were without oxygen. According to an article in Voice of America, they quoted a study by Carnegie Mellon University stating the fatality rate of drivers over the age of 85 is 4 times higher than teenagers, who are usually pegged as more reckless drivers. An example is an 86-year-old man who drove through a crowded farmer's market in California, killing 10 people. Each of these drivers had passed written and visual tests. None had fallen asleep at the wheel, or had been drinking, or were taking strong medications. According to the Insurance Institute of American Safety, drivers over the age of 75 have a higher risk of being killed in a crash than any other age group. In 2013, 64% of elderly killed were male, 24% were in single vehicles, and 44% occurred between the hours of 12 noon and 4 p.m. There are some tips and warning signs I'd like to tell you. This is from healthguide.org. Aging does not automatically equal total loss of driving ability. There are many things they can do to continue driving safely. Getting their eyes checked every year, having their ears checked every year, sleeping well, talking to their doctor about the effects of ailments and medications. Here are some warning signs of the unsafe driving. Conflicting medications can affect senses and reflexes. Problems with reflexes and range of motion. Problems with memory. Do they miss exits that are secondhand to them? Do they forget where they're going? And then this brings me to the subject of dementia and driving. According to the National Institute of Aging, people who have dementia may not be able to drive safely. They may also forget how to find familiar places like the grocery store, or even then forget to find their way home. An incident like this actually happened close to home for me and my family. Our friend's mom had been a little off. She had had a few instances of fender benders, but nothing too bad. One day in January, she told her husband she was going to the grocery store, and she never returned. Everyone went out searching for her. We searched for 3 days, all over the county, through 2 states. We had fire departments, we had ambulances, we had all the people that we could find to try to search for her. 3 days later, they found her car 50 miles away. She was outside of the car, frozen to death. In the state of Florida, the U.S. state with the largest per capita elderly population, drivers over 80 plowed into a Chinese restaurant, a post office, state official's office, and as you see here, a hair salon. In conclusion, I know it can be very difficult to deal with this situation. After all, they are our parents and grandparents. But please don't ignore a problem. Pay attention to your older drivers' driving skills. You could save their lives and the lives of others. Thank you.